Once upon a time, in a small, secluded village nestled deep within the dark and ominous woods, there lived an old witch named Agatha. Her reputation as a wicked and powerful sorceress had haunted the village for generations, and her eerie cottage stood as a grim reminder of the fear that had plagued the villagers for as long as anyone could remember. The legend of Agatha the Witch began centuries ago when a series of mysterious disappearances and inexplicable misfortunes befell the village. Crops withered, livestock perished, and people vanished without a trace. Whispers of dark rituals and curses filled the air, and the villagers believed that an evil force had taken root in their midst. One chilling autumn evening, as the harvest moon cast an eerie glow over the forest, a group of brave villagers gathered in secret to confront Agatha. Armed with torches and determination, they made their way through the dense woods to her sinister cottage. The path leading to her dwelling was overgrown with thorns and twisted trees, as if nature itself recoiled from her presence. The moment they reached the cottage's decrepit doorstep, a bone-chilling wind swept through the air, extinguishing their torches and plunging them into darkness. They knocked on the crooked door, their hearts pounding with dread. It creaked open slowly, revealing the hunched figure of Agatha herself, her gnarled fingers clutching a gnarled staff, and her eyes pale as the moon, gleaming with an unnatural light. "You've come to confront me, have you?" Agatha's voice was a haunting whisper, like the rustling of dead leaves in the wind. "We demand an end to the suffering in our village," declared the village elder, his voice trembling. "Your dark magic has plagued us for generations. It's time to put an end to it." Agatha merely chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. "You foolish mortals think you can control the forces of the universe with your pitiful demands. Very well. If you wish to end my curse, you must prove yourselves." With a wave of her staff, Agatha summoned an ancient and tattered book, bound in black leather and adorned with sinister symbols. She opened it to a page that glowed with an eerie light and began to chant an incantation that sent ripples of fear through the hearts of the villagers. "You shall venture into the depths of the haunted forest and retrieve for me a single shimmering silver feather from the heart of a raven," Agatha decreed. "Do this, and my curse shall be lifted. Fail, and your soul shall be forever bound to my dark power." The villagers, driven by desperation and determination, accepted the challenge. With torches relit, they ventured into the foreboding woods, their footsteps echoing through the silent darkness. The journey was treacherous as the forest seemed to come alive with malevolent intent. Whispers of long-forgotten secrets filled the air, and shadowy figures darted just out of sight. As the night wore on, fear and exhaustion took hold of the villagers. Each step deeper into the woods felt like a descent into madness. They heard the mournful cries of unseen creatures and the haunting laughter of spirits that lingered in the shadows. But they pressed on, driven by the promise of salvation. Eventually, they stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an eerie, silvery light. In the center stood a colossal raven, its feathers as black as the darkest night. Its eyes bore into their souls, and its caw sent shivers down their spines. Without a word, the raven plucked a single silver feather from its chest and presented it to the villagers. With the feather in hand, they made their way back to Agatha's cottage. As they approached, the gnarled trees seemed to part, allowing them passage. Agatha awaited them with a knowing smile, her pale eyes fixed on the shimmering prize they held. "You've returned," she murmured, "and you've brought what I requested." Handing over the silver feather, the villagers watched as Agatha's eyes filled with a sinister gleam. With a wave of her staff, she chanted an incantation that sent the feather spiraling into the air. It transformed into a swirling vortex of silver light that enveloped her, causing her form to wither and dissolve into the ether. As the vortex dissipated, the cottage crumbled into dust, and the oppressive darkness that had clung to the village for generations lifted like a shroud. The villagers were finally free from Agatha's curse, but they knew that the horrors they had witnessed in the forest would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The legend of Agatha, the malevolent witch, faded into history, but the memory of her dark power and the terrifying journey into the haunted forest remained etched in the minds of those who had dared to confront her. They learned that sometimes to conquer evil, one must venture into the darkest depths of fear and uncertainty, facing the unknown with unwavering resolve.